Welcome to Date and Stay Alive. Well, that's really the whole point of the show, so now, on to the anime. The show starts 30 years ago in China. Then this giant space tornado black hole called Space Quakes destroys mainland China. Then we get introduced to our main characters, Itsuka Shido and her sister, Itsuka Kotori. Shido then explains that they're both orphans.
Where are your parents?
Because their parents died due to space quakes.
Space? It affects us all.
As they head to school, his best friend shows up and his name is Tonomachi Hitoro. The weeb then talks about having a VR girlfriend and he shows it to Shido. He's giving me Shinpachi vibes in that dating sim arc in Gintama. As the virgin keeps yapping, this white-haired bitch shows up and her name is Tobichi Origami. Then Shido wonders why this bitch knows his name when it's their first time meeting. Then the Sharknado alarm kicks in. Then an Evangelion type of evacuation starts. Shido tries to call his loli but she didn't answer. Then he tracks her GPS and notices that she's still not in the evac site.
Oh my god, stop bro, I'm stuck!
He then goes out to find her.
I will find you.
He survives the calamity then saw this girl in the crate.
Oh, that's hot.
Then she pointed her sword towards him and says, "Are you also here to rape me?" No, I'm still a goddamn loser virgin. Then this special ops SEAL team military arrives to kill the space quake bitch. And one of the SEAL team members is Paper Crane Origami. And she proceeds to fight the space quake bitch. Where are your other teammates? Are they just fingering each other at the sidelines watching these two women fight? Now I remember why I hate this anime. Anyway, they kept fighting then it ends with a bang. Shido then blacks out and not in the good way.
Good night, girl.
And he dreams about this mysterious voice telling him, "Don't worry little boy, I'll never let you go again, I promise." He then gets woken up by the stoned nurse.
I think I smoked too many blunts and I can't never stop.
Paviola Rene, the VTuber from Hololive. He asks her about his sister's whereabouts. Then she leads him to their captain and it's his loli sister.
Hello, motherfucker.
She then explains to him that the space quake bitch he met earlier is a spirit. She's like an alien because they don't exist here on Earth. And when a spirit comes, it causes a mass destruction. The government lies to the people and they call it a space quake so that they won't search for an anal probe. And there is a special ops SEAL team who deals with this kind of situation. Then she also tells him that there is another way to stop this space quake shit and they need his help, but he needs to train first. The next day comes and the loli tells him that it's his mission to reason these space quake bitches. He then meets up with Paper Crane and she tells him that the spirits are bad because it killed her parents.
Oh no. Anyway, last week.
We then cut to Paper Crane having a nightmare about her parents getting deleted. Then we jump to Shido where he is training to improve his Rizzling skills. Where the loli and the stone nurse tells him to start rizzing on his teacher.
Beam bada boom, Mr. Worldwide.
And she goes full cougar mode after Shido makes her wet. He runs away from the cougar and stumbles onto the Paper Crane. Then the loli tells him to start rizzing on her.
I will spare no thought.
He asked her to go out with him and she said yes.
That was easy.
Then the long alarm sounds off and the next location for the space quake is in his school and it happens. We cut to Shido doing his mission on rizzing the space quake bitch. Then we get introduced to this big brain incel who's going to help him.
Big brain!
He then approaches the bitch and starts talking to her like in a dating simulator.
I'm coming for that ass, boy.
Along with the help of the big brain incels. He finally managed to let her guard down. She doesn't have a name and Shido decides to call her Tohka. Then the special ops SEAL team starts gunning them down, but the pair continues talking with the help of Tohka's man. He was about to ask Tohka on a date, but the wall breaks down and Paper Crane shows Shido and assumes that he's being held as hostage.
I'm in danger!
She charges straight to Tohka but she got smacked. The next day comes and Shido goes to the ruined school. Then Tohka calls him so that they can go on their date. The pair goes on a date with the help of the big brain incels. And Paper Crane stalks them because Tohka might explode anytime soon.
You didn't see me, but here I am.
As the sun goes down, the pair heads to this playground and talk about how they enjoy their date. And we see the special ops SEAL team and Paper Crane preparing to assassinate Tohka JFK style.
Enemy spotted.
The pair has a back and forth argument about Tohka wanting to stay here on Earth. Then Paper Crane finally received the green light to fire. She pulls the trigger and accidentally killed Shido. Tohka then goes on a rampage and was about to kill Paper Crane, who blanks out because she failed the assassination just like the Trump one. Meanwhile in HQ, the loli was calm about the situation and tells the big brain incels that Shido won't die because he's the protagonist obviously, and he's gonna keep on reviving until he manages to make all the bitches fall in love with him. Shido then wakes up and was dropped from the sky. Tohka catches him, but her sword was about to burst because of too much power. Then the loli suggested to mouth sex her to regain control of her power, and the pair does it and the crisis was averted. The next episode starts where Shido saw this loli furry playing in the rain. Then she falls down because of her clumsiness. He tries to help her but she backs away and says, "Please don't touch me. I'm getting Dr. Disrespect vibes from you."
What am I playing?
We cut back to the school where Paper Crane apologizes to Shido
I've made a severe...
for assassinating him Trump style. Shido goes home where the loli explains to him why Tohka needs to live with him so that they can closely monitor her status, and also he has the ability to seal a spirit's power by mouth sexing them. And because Tohka isn't the only spirit, ecchi fan service happens and we cut to the school where another space quake is happening. Then Stone VTuber explains to Shido that right now Tohka is just an ordinary girl. Then Shido leaves the school to pick up another bitch, and it's the furry loli he met earlier. He then accepts the mission on becoming a pedophile just like Dr. Disrespect.
Are you kidding me?
Then the special ops SEAL team starts gunning her down like an American shooter. We then cut to Shido meeting the furry loli in this mall, and the furry loli introduced herself to her talking puppet and her name is Yoshino. Then he starts rizzing on her with the help of the big brain incel team.
Damn, girl. You grew up.
Meanwhile, Tohka leaves the safe house to fight Shido, and she caught them accidentally mouth sexing.
Emotional damage.
She gets jealous and this foul-mouthed puppet triggers her by saying, "Shido is tired of your saggy tits. He wants a flat-chested loli because he wants to be like Dr. Disrespect."
I'm triggered.
Tohka gets triggered and pulls the puppet out of her hand. Then the furry summon swallows the were-rabbit, and she escapes like a wild Pokemon. The next day comes where he saw the furry loli searching for her muppet. He then invites the loli to his house to eat and tells her that no matter what, he will be his hero and help her search for her muppet.
Let me be your hero.
Then we cut to Shido going to Paper Crane's house because she brought the Muppet home. The pair starts talking, and as Paper Crane was taking a shower, Shido searches for the Muppet and he found it.
Well, hi, I'm Kermit.
Paper Crane finished taking a shower, then Shido tells her, "You still hate spirits, don't you? But let me tell you that spirits aren't that bad. No, they're bad because they're racist and they killed my parents. Don't try to gaslight me into thinking that they're good. No, they're good. No, they're bad. Good, bad, good, bad. Fine. But if I lack a spirit's power, you wouldn't attack them, right? Yeah, sure." Then the Special Ops SEAL team calls Paper Crane for another mission, and she jumps into the secret tunnel just like Perry the Platypus. We cut to the loli getting mowed down by the SEAL team bitches. Then she summons Wallace the were-rabbit again.
No cheese, Grummy.
Shido calls for her attention, but she can't control Wallace and was about to Kamehameha Shido. Tohka saw this and manages to block the Kamehameha by her sword. Then Shido tells her, "I want that loli pussy."
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
"Don't worry, you're still my number one bitch though." She decides to help him and let him ride her. her hoverboard sword.
Baby, you can drive my car.
Tohka then baits the SEAL team into following her. Meanwhile, Shido manages to break into Crystal Maiden's freezing field without BKB. He delivers the Muppet to her.
Don't you know me? I'm Kermit the Frog.
And he tells her about mouth sex and the loli initiates it.
Hold up. Wait a minute, something ain't right.
And he finally seals her powers. The next day comes where the Special Ops team is getting raw dogged by these weird pink tornado slimes. Then we cut to the leader getting chewed out by her general for being an incompetent bitch.
It's fucking raw!
Then her subordinates propose that they should go to a hot spring to relax, and she agrees.
Life could be a dream. Life could be a dream.
Meanwhile, Shido and the gang are also heading to the same hot springs. Okay, this is just a filler episode where the big brain incels are trying to prevent the Special Ops SEAL team and the gang from crossing paths, where the Special Ops SEAL team shows how American they are. So we'll just skip that. The next episode starts where this blue-haired bitch raw dogs the SEAL team's asses. Then they go study a film on how to kill a spirit because blue-haired bitch here killed one and she's kind of an expert. She gets a glimpse of Shido in the film and calls him
Oni-chan.
Then Paper Crane asks her relationship to Shido because he is her lover. We cut to the school the next morning where Glasses Cougar teacher here introduces a new student and her name is Kurumi, and she tells all of them straight to their faces that she's a spirit.
The power of
Christ compels you!
Then after introducing herself, she asks Shido to become her tour guide in the school. As they head to the rooftop, Shido asks her about what she meant about being a spirit. Then she tells him that he doesn't need to play dumb because she already knows that he's the Rizzler King and it was love at first sight. As they go home, Kurumi bumps into these lame-ass delinquents and they were about to rape her. Right! And she also tells them that she also wants a good time.
Yeah, boy.
And invites them into this alleyway and eats them because she's a man-eater. Then blue-haired special ops bitch arrives, but she was also too late and she calls Kurumi by the codename Nightmare.
And he's there!
Boogeyman!
She then bumps into the pair and calls Shido.
Oni-chan!
They go back to the house where the blue-haired special ops bitch explains that her memories are fuzzy and she can't remember the past.
I think my brain just committed suicide.
And she shows this locket where there is a picture of him and Shido, and it's the only proof of them being siblings. Then they bicker about on who's the best sister, the real sister or the stepsis, and we skip that because that's just incest fan service. Then we cut to the next day where Four Eyes Cougar teacher roll calls her students. She calls Kurumi and she was absent, and Paper Crane tells Shido that she isn't coming to school again, but she appears and Paper Crane was shocked.
Oh, DD,
During lunchtime, Shido was called by her stepsis, and they let him see a footage of Kurumi and the blue-haired bitch, along with the special ops SEAL team, where the blue-haired bitch kills Kurumi after the foursome, and they confirm that she died.
He's already dead!
And they wonder how the hell is she still alive. Meanwhile, Kurumi interrogates Paper Crane and tells her that she wants to be one with Shido and obtain his power so that they can rule the galaxy together. Then Shido invites Kurumi on a date to investigate how the hell is she still alive. Paper Crane hears this and pins Shido into the locker room and interrogates him.
A little bit spicy.
But with his Sigma male attitude, he manages to get away from her. As they head home, Tohka seduces him, invites him on a date, and he agrees. Then also Paper Crane calls him and invites him on a date. The next day comes where he is on a three-way date mission where the big brain incels helps him and he keeps on flip-flopping onto these three bitches by having an alibi about diarrhea. As the date goes on, Kurumi saw this thug shooting this cat with a BB gun. She then disables the CCTVs to cover her murder spree. Meanwhile, Paper Crane and Tohka bumps into each other. The both of them says that they're on a date with Shido. Paper Crane notices what's going on and searches for Shido. On the other hand, Shido finishes shitting and finds Kurumi being a man-eater. And she makes this man as a target dummy. She shoots the guy like a professional school shooter, and Shido tries to run away, but he was grabbed by her tentacle stand arms. As she was about to peg him, the blue-haired bitch comes to the rescue. She then attacks Kurumi using her upgrades and kills her. She then tells Shido that she needs to keep on killing this bitch to prevent her from killing other people because she's gonna keep on reviving like a gamer. She then pushed him through her barrier and she learns that Shido is a dating sim god. Shido heads to the mothership where he tells the redhead loli that he's going to stop being a fuckboy.
I quit! I quit! I quit!
And she slaps him and says, "Stop being such a pussy. You can get all the bitches you want, and this job is every man's dream, creating their own harem. You want to go back as a loser following Andrew Tate? You disgust me." Disgusting! He heads home and Tohka pulls him to continue their date, and she made Shido realize that he can do it. And she can save Kurumi because she's a spirit like her. The next day comes where he confronts Kurumi and tells her that he will save her. Meanwhile, blue-haired bitch and the redhead loli meets up and expose each other's secrets about being a secret corrupt organization that kills spirits.
Compels you!
We cut back to the school where Kurumi uses the word and everyone gets paralyzed except for him because he has the power of Tohka and the loli furry. Then Kurumi calls his attention using the school radio and says, "Hey fuckboy, if you want to fuck me, come and find me." Shido heads to the rooftop and finds her. Meanwhile, Paper Crane used her battlesuit and searches for Shido, but she gets cock-blocked by Kurumi's illusion. Tohka, on the other hand, manages to summon her powers and she was also cock-blocked by Kurumi's illusion. We cut back to the rooftop where Kurumi tells Shido about her stand, the world, and it sucks everyone's lifespan whenever they enter her range. Shido then threatens Kurumi on killing himself.
Bye, bitch!
So that she can't devour him. Then through his Rizzling powers, he manages to seduce her.
Begone, son!
But she was killed by her illusion, and she uses her tentacle hands on Shido again. As she was about to devour him, blue-haired bitch comes to the rescue again. Kurumi then uses her stand and slaps her. Then Tohka and Paper Crane finally arrives, but Kurumi uses D4C this time to corner the gang.
Doja!
But redhead loli comes to save the day using her stand Magician's Red.
Yes! I am
The bitches starts fighting and redhead loli claps Kurumi's ass. Because of her regeneration skill, she then loses control of herself and was about to finish off Kurumi.
Finish him.
But Shido stands in her way like a window licker to protect Kurumi, and she shoots him with a bazooka as she gains her senses back. Shido then blacks out, and not in the good way. He then wakes up in the ship's medical room, and stoned nurse VTuber Rini tells him that everything's alright and no one died during the fight. He then goes and talks to the redhead loli one-on-one. He asks her about who the fuck she is, and she tells him about her past.
Gentlemen, a short view back to the past.
And she says, I'm a human and that's my pronoun. But 5 years ago, I started to identify myself as a spirit because LGBTQIA++ was established, and we have this thing called Pride Month every June, and it's the only time where I can be my true self as a spirit. But then you sealed my powers. Hence, you were chosen as a fuckboy to raise all the spirits and contain their powers, just like me. Because every time I use my powers, I lose control. She then blacks out because every time she uses her powers, her spirit AIDS gets even worse.
We're not just sure, we're HIV positive.
Then stone nurse VTuber Rainy tells him that she needs to reason the bitch to contain her powers back and save her, and he has 2 days to do it. He then goes to the hospital to visit the blue-haired bitch. Then Paper Crane shows up and tells him that she is a super top secret classified agent and no one can visit her easily. She then asks him about the magician's red stand user and tells Shido to let her know about it so that she can finally have her revenge for killing her parents. He then goes on a date with the loli along with the other bitches. The loli is not getting wet and her love meter is getting low and she leaves. Shido then tries to find her, and he saw the stone nurse VTuber Reine injecting some heroin onto the loli to keep her alive and finish this incest date, and he eavesdrops on their conversation. Then Stone VTuber tells him that he needs to keep quiet on what he heard and finish the job to save her. Then he tells the loli that they need to move venues because he doesn't like resorts, and he throws his earbuds away. Meanwhile, Paper Crane saw this new battle suit, and it has the power to defeat the magician's red spirit. Then she watched the recorded video of the fight and learns that the redhead loli is a stand user who killed her parents. The pair continues on their date. As it was about to end, Paper Crane blasts the loli with her metal gear.
Target neutralized.
The bitches starts fighting, then Paper Crane's ass was banged, but she manages to cut the loli off guard. Then Uno reverses the situation. Shido tries to stop her by raising her. As she was about to kill the loli, Tohka and the furry comes to stop her. Shido then mouth sexes her sister and contain her power. Then Shido tells Paper Crane to kill him because he already possesses the stand magician's red. Paper Crane then passes out because of the metal gear.
Good night, girl.
Then we cut to Shido and the loli in the ship where everything is fine, and we get to see the Paper Crane being a cripple. She deserves a lot of punishment from what she did. She basically stole a high-tech military weapon, and that's the end of the anime. This anime gets a metal gear out of a stand user.